fellow carbon-based bipeds. I am Scott Rose, and you are watching Explosions and Stuff. Today, I'll be reviewing the 2014 film Sword of Vengeance, starring Stanley Weber, Annabelle Wallis, and Ed Skrein. But first, a word from our sponsors. An overview of the movie? Freed from slavery, a Norman prince returns home to lead a group of exiled Saxon farmers in battle against their shared enemy, his father's murderer. The pros of this movie? Well, first of all, the quality of the practical effects in this movie was just fantastic. Between the wounds and the blood effects in this movie, yes, there were some digital blood effects later on in the movie during like the massive battle scenes, but those were few and far between as far as the digital blood effects go. Mostly it was nice, real, well, not real, but practical effect blood just rolling down the cheeks and out of the mouth and out of neck wounds and stuff. It was fantastic. They did a really good job with the practical effects and the makeup effects in this movie. Also, the close quarter fights in this movie were just really hard hitting and grueling and tough and gritty, and it felt like you were there in the combat, feeling these shields and swords and axes clash against each other and watching these people go to battle, fighting for their lives and fighting for their homes and fighting for their freedom, just to fight and conquer and get what they needed to, get their freedom, or in the case of the Norman people, overthrow these people and be like, no, you cannot rebel, you cannot fight back, we shall conquer you and put you in your place. The close quarter battle scenes in this movie were fantastic. One thing I really liked about this movie is normally you have these movies that are really slow and they feel a lot longer than they are. This movie didn't feel nearly as long as it was. This movie's almost an hour and a half long. Sitting through watching it, it felt like it was maybe an hour long. It's really good when a movie doesn't feel as long as it actually is. That's a sign of just fun and engaging movie. So it's really good that this movie did not feel as long as it did. The cons of this movie? Well, first of all the color in this movie was washed out. I mean, everything was like really gray and drab, and I get they're trying to make this feel gritty and tough and like a barren wasteland or something, but it just failed miserably. This is an effect that's been done so much. It's been overdone, and I'm tired of seeing it. Now, I'm not saying you need to have bright, vibrant colors and bold and flashiness. All I'm saying is, you got trees in the movie. Let them be green. Let the leaves on these trees be green. Let people's clothes have color to them. Let there be color somewhere in the movie. I mean, you have royalty in this movie, and they aren't wearing colorful clothes, just bright, bold clothes to show off their wealth. You're doing it wrong. You need to have color. Maybe not bold, vibrant color, but you need to have a color other than black or white or gray or brown. The brown wasn't even really brown. It was gray. Everything in this movie was just gray. You need to have color of some sort in a movie unless you're doing it in all black and white. Also, this movie had too much slow motion. Now, I don't mind slow motion scenes in movies. I really don't. But when every third scene in a movie is slow motion, you're doing it too much. You're trying to go for these artistic slow motion shots of this guy stabbing someone in the chest with a sword and blood coming out and flying out from the wound and going all around his face and stuff. You're trying to make that look artistic. Okay, fine, once or twice, if it's like he finally defeated the epic bad guy of the movie. But when it's the first fight scene of the movie, you don't need to have that slow motion. You really don't. You can establish that he's a badass without having slow motion blood spray. You don't need that nonsense. There was way too much slow motion in this movie. But my biggest issue with this movie? I have no clue what it was about. Like, you may have noticed that my overview describing this movie was pretty short and lacking in how it was only one sentence long. That's because I just copied the description from Netflix. By watching this movie, I have absolutely no clue what it's about, and I just finished watching this movie at most 15 minutes ago. I just finished this movie and I don't know what it was about. I just know there were fight scenes, there was slow motion stuff. I think there was revenge in there somewhere. I'm not sure. But I have no clue what the central plot and what the focus and the goal and the story of this movie was. I don't even know if this movie had a story or if it was just a collection of slow motion scenes, artistic shots, and the occasional fight scene. My overall thoughts on the movie? It's hard to get emotionally invested in a movie when you can't even tell what it's about by watching it. And for that reason, I give this movie 2 thumbs down. I mean, seriously, if there's someone out there who understands what this movie's supposed to be about just by watching it, please tell me because I have no idea. It's nothing but slow motion, attempts at artistic shots, and the occasional fight scene. I can't think of any reason to watch Sword of Vengeance. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please feel free to like it and subscribe to my channel for new action movie reviews posted every week and top 10 lists posted on the 10th of every month. Also, if you have any recommendations for things you would like me to cover in the future, please leave them in the comments below and follow us on Twitter at explosions_TV. Thank you and have a nice day.